My name is Jim Coltrera. I'm the Director for Education at the New York State Catholic Conference and co-chairperson of the Coalition for Independent and Religious Schools. I want to first of all thank Maria Spagnuolo from Cathedral Catholic and all the students for hosting us and welcoming us here today. Just on a personal note, I've been working on education legislation for 29 years in Albany, and I have never been more excited about seeing such a diverse coalition, an array of individuals, organizations, from community groups, faith leaders, labor, children and families coming together to support education, regardless of where kids go to school. And this is really remarkable. This is a testament to the support, the broad support behind the Education Tax Credit Bill. Education Tax Credit Bill is very simple. It's all about increasing donations into education, regardless of where kids go to school. Increasing donations for teachers for their out-of-pocket expenses, for public schools and organizations that help public schools, and donations for scholarships to help tuition-paying families afford a religious or independent education. I'm going to acknowledge everyone who's here. I hope I don't miss everyone. First of all, Your Eminence, Timothy Cardinal Dolan. Bishop DiMarzio, Bishop Let me go through the list of the labor leaders here. Pat Lynch from the PBA. We have Steve Cassidy from the firefighters. Dennis Quirk from the court officers. And Pat Cullen from the Supreme Court officers. Hector Figueroa couldn't be here from 32BJ, but Natalia Salgado is supposed to be here representing Hector. We have Pat Gabriel from the Federation of Catholic. Tom Mungier, president of the Troopers. Ed Mullins from the Sergeants. Richard Wells from the Police Conference of New York State. Chris Monahan representing the captains. Al Hagan. Do we have Al? From the Uniform Firefighters officers. Al's running late. He'll be here. Lou Matarazzo representing Mike Palladino and the detectives, lieutenants, and captains. Rabbi Mark Kalish from Agudath Israel. Reverend Tillard from Nazarene Congregational Church. Is he here yet? He's running late. Jessica Reba from the Lutheran Schools Association. Barry Lovell from United Jewish Appeal. Barry. And Sam Sutton and Maury Litwack from the Orthodox Union. Bob Cattell, former chairperson of the New York City Partnership. We also have with us a parent and a student. The parent, Katja Saka from St. Eldebert's School, is going to be offering her personal comments, as well as Celine Taveras, who's a student here, are going to offer their comments. So if we don't have Reverend Tillard, Pat, I'd like to ask you to start.
Good morning. Cardinal Bishop, it's a pleasure to be here with you today on such an important thing, the education tax credit, which is sorely needed in education. Our mission as labor leaders and educators and the religious up here is to help this city educate our children. We're going through difficult financial times in this great city. The public school system is going through cutbacks and increased volume in the number of students they need to educate. The beauty of this bill is it helps every last one of them and every last one of us who are trying to educate our children in this great city. This bill covers everyone that needs assistance. Private schools, parochial schools, public schools, charter school. There's something in it for everyone. And the beauty of it is in this difficult financial times, no cost to the city or the state. It encourages people to make the charitable donations that keep our institutions running. This is about helping our teachers when they go that extra mile to spend their own money to make sure the job is getting done for our children. It gives them a tax break as well. What this bill would do is for our working family, the working poor, those struggling, this tax credit may well be the little bit that allows them to make the best choices for their children's education. This couple of dollars through the charitable donations, this tax credit could be the one thing that allows them to move forward, allows them to make a choice and educate our children. That's important for the children that stand here. Many of us are products of such education. And we became police officers, firefighters, teachers, court officers. The public safety folks that you see rush towards that danger. The dedication we have as labor leaders, that came from classrooms like this. Many of us sat in the bleachers like that. Many of us played in bands that are entertaining us here today. We have to encourage that. This is a bill that helps everyone. This benefits all New Yorkers, especially those working families. So, as a labor leader, as organizers, once the word spread on this, and the support was in Albany, and we want to thank those legislators that have signed on for this bill and are passionately pushing this bill. It was easy for us to organize as labor leaders to bring all these unions together to make sure this gets done. Why does a New York City police officer pledge support to this bill? Because it helps my children. It helps your children. It helps the next generation of lifesavers. It helps the next generation of teachers. And if it helps us, it helps the students, it helps the city, and it'll work. Thanks very much.
Rabbi Mark Kalish from Agudath Israel.
Thank you, Jim. Honored Cardinal. It's really an honor to be here this morning together with all of you to discuss the education tax credit. A few weeks ago, we led a delegation of our community, followed by the delegations that went up to Albany from the OU and the Spartak Federation. And we discussed with our legislative leaders our top legislative priority. You see, not since the late 70s, early 80s, have we seen such constellations align when it comes to both the budgetary and political process, where an investment like the education tax credit on behalf of our children, the children of hundreds of thousands of parents that we've been representing for 90 years, unanimously come together to support a very powerful legislation. And we said to our leaders, a meeting that we had just yesterday morning in Lawrence with Senator Dean Scalos, we said anything less than meaningful passage of this legislative reform would be disappointment to our community. We are putting our full force of our community behind this. We really look to the leadership of this coalition who are making it happen, and we thank you for being here.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Bob Cattell, and I'm honored to be here this morning with Cardinal Dolan, Bishop DiMarzio, and the other leaders to urge the governor and the legislature of New York State to pass the Educational Investment Tax Credit Bill. As many of you know, I spent my life in the business community working, starting as a junior engineer with a company called Brooklyn Union, working my way up to CEO of that company, chairman of Keyspan and National Grid. Along the way, I served as chairman of the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, the New York City Partnership, and also the New York State Business Council. So I understand, as does the business community supporting this bill, while education is so important to our state and our children's future. Here's what I know, and here's what I want to tell the children here this morning in this beautiful Catholic school. Education means everything. It makes everything possible. Not just making money, but also giving back, helping other people, improving the life of others, giving back to society, and making the world a better place. All that I have achieved and all that I am able to give back is due to having a good both elementary and high school education, allowing me to get a bachelor's and a master's degree at the City College of New York. I recognize the value of a Catholic education and provide my personal support by being chairman of Futures of Education, a Catholic organization led by Bishop DiMarzio, raising money to fund scholarships for children to attend Catholic schools in Brooklyn and Queens. I also sit on the board of Tomorrow's Hope, which also raises scholarship money for Catholic education on Long Island. And I chair the board of the Cristo Rey Brooklyn High School, in which provides a faith-based college prep education to needy inner-city students through an innovative work-study program. The educational tax credit will allow us to make a quality education available to all of those families who cannot afford it and due to their financial circumstances. I've been witness to the passage of many bills in Albany, but I can think of none more important to the future of our young people, the ones who are standing up here in front of us in those classrooms in our state, in both public and parochial schools. I'm proud to stand here this morning with Cardinal Dolan, Bishop DiMarzio, and the other leaders to urge the governor and the legislature to pass this bill for the benefit of the future of the young people in the state of New York. Thank you.
Please welcome Celine Taveras, senior here.
My name is Celine, and I'm the student body president of Cathedral High School. I want to thank Cardinal Dolan for being here and making it known how important this issue is to him and the church. I also want to thank all the leaders here for their support. We know we can count on you, and now we need you to bring your colleagues on board too. I'm honored to speak for my classmates today, but I'm also speaking for all the kids who deserve to be here at Cathedral and need our help to make it happen. My private education has given me a broader focus. My school puts more time and resources into things that make me not just a great student, but a well-rounded person. I am more active at school than ever before. Besides being involved with student council, I also take part in cheerleading and drama. I even played the lead role in one of our plays. I've had the opportunity to network here, meeting new people who have taught and inspired me. I'm proud to say that, thanks to everything I've learned at Cathedral, I will be attending Johnson & Wales University to study culinary arts after I graduate. Like I said, all these opportunities have made me a lucky person. All my friends and classmates, we're all lucky to be here. But not enough kids have the same opportunities as we do. The legislation we're promoting will help support the kinds of scholarships I rely on to attend Cathedral and kinds of scholarships so many of us here rely on. The most important part is that we are all in this together. Public schools and private schools affect each other, and this bill will strengthen both types of education. That's why these tax credits are so important. No matter what your background is, what faith you subscribe to, whether you're in public or non-public school, this will improve education opportunities for New York's children. Everyone deserves the same chances I've had. And if we let one kid slip through the cracks, then we failed everyone. I hope the people in Albany can think of me and how much of a difference private education has made in my life and say, every child deserves a chance to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Celine. I do want to acknowledge Natalia Salgado from representing Hector Figueroa from Thank you for being here. Maria Saka, right up. Maria's from St. Eldebert School. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Katia Saka and I live in Elmhurst, Queens. I am honored to appear here with Cardinal Dolan, Bishop DiMarcio, and so many good people who are fighting for our children. I am here to say that scholarships make it possible for my children to attend a great school, St. Albert's in Elmhurst, Queens. I am a single mother. I work hard because I love my children and I want them to have the best life possible. But I could not send them to their school without scholarship help. My children work hard in school too, and they are in the environment where they learn values and how to live right and get smart too. I'm asking Governor Cuomo and our state legislators to support children like mine by passing this bill. I want to thank my representatives for supporting the bill, Senator Stavisky and Assemblywoman Markey. More scholarships will mean more families like mine can have this chance for their children rather than more of them falling away. After all, with this educational opportunity I have for my children, they too could grow up to be on the U.S. Supreme Court or governor or even president. Thank you.
Katja, thank you very much. Bishop DiMarcio.
One of the things that's made America great is that we're a voluntary society. That means you want to be here, you can be here. And truly, what the voluntarism of our society is about is giving. No country in the world has the record of donating to others that the United States does. And we look at that and we see that this can help the scholarship funds that benefit those in private education, but also those in public schools. There are many ways to donate, and we want to encourage people to give what they have, to share with others, because education is the future of our country, the future of our children. We thank all those who've come today, the union supporters especially, who are behind us, because they too give scholarships, and this can benefit some of their members. We're concerned about the future because educational costs keep rising. It's hard to keep up with the new cost and the new technology that's needed to give a first-class education to all of our children. Support for this bill will make it possible for us to get to the future and to ensure the future of the children that we educate. We thank you for your support. We hope that, again, our governor, legislators will be able to give their support to this, because it will mean a lot to everyone. Thank you.
Is Reverend Tillard not here? Stuck in traffic. Your Eminence.
Thanks. I'm the cleanup batter, everybody, and all I want to do is say thanks. First of all, thank you, Cathedral High School. Am I ever proud of you? Thanks to the press. We really appreciate your interest. We want to get the word out. We're glad you're here. Thanks to distinguished leaders in labor and business and parents and graduates and alumni and religious leaders. Thank you for this extraordinary unity we have in this most enlightened proposed legislation. Thanks to my colleagues here. And I want to thank our political leaders, because overwhelmingly they're with us. I thank our governor. I thank our Senator Scalos. I thank the brave men and women who have sponsored this legislation, and the great outpouring of support that we've already experienced in the Senate and the legislature. You know, when I got here 5 years ago, I met a remarkable man by the name of Peter Flanagan, who was a well-known business leader who probably did more for education than anybody else I know. And I started saying, Peter, how can we better help kids in our Catholic schools? And he said, hold on. He said, don't talk about Catholic schools, don't talk about Jewish schools, don't talk about Lutheran schools, don't talk about charter schools, don't talk about public schools. Talk about our kids. Talk about children. Anything we can do to help education, to help our kids, we want to do it as vigorously as possible. And I don't know of a bill that does that better than the one we got now. Is not education supposed to bring us together? And unfortunately today it seems a sign of division. Education is supposed to bring us together. And look at this diverse group here coming together on behalf of our kids and this legislation. I thank them, I thank you, and let's go get them, all right?
Thank you. We'll take questions.
I'm from Catholic New York. I just wanted to ask a question. How close are you? What's the status of the bill? How close?
Well, the Senate has passed the bill in 2 years, in 2011, 2012. The majority of lawmakers in the legislature, not only in the Senate, but in the Assembly, support the bill, either as co-sponsors or having voted for it. The Senate is going to advance the bill for discussions, and the Assembly is asking Speaker Silver to advance it as well so that lawmakers can come together during the budget session and hopefully include this as part of the state budget. No questions because it's a no-brainer?
It is a no-brainer. So what's the need for this news conference today? Why do you have so many people from so many diverse communities pushing for this bill if it was a no-brainer? What seems to be the problem in Albany that you're concerned
What a
about?
great question, because one of the things we all have learned is that it's the squeaky wheel that gets the oil, and we can't relax on our laurels. It's a no-brainer, but we got to keep lobbying, we got to keep advocating, we got to keep proposing, we got to keep arguing for it, because if we sink into kind of a lethargy, which the obvious radiance of this bill might lead us to be overly confident and say, "Hey, this is a no-brainer. This is going to go through." We don't want it to be sluggish. We don't want it to fail. So we're going to keep at it, and we're not going to take a thing for granted.
Any other questions? Thank you very much for being here.